to the Audio Instructor Series. I'm your host, Ed Hutchison. Our topic today is Qi. In order to understand Qi, you must understand several different concepts. Qi is the foundation of all Chinese medical theory. It corresponds to the Greek pneuma and the Sanskrit prana. It is considered to be the vital force and energy flow in all living things. There is no Western definition of Qi. However, according to the experience of Qigong practitioners, Qi is best explained as a type of energy, very much like electricity, which flows through the human or animal body. When the circulation becomes stagnant or stops, the person or animal becomes ill or dies. In Qi training, the mind controls the flow of Qi, just as it controls other body functions. Everyone has experienced ways in which his mind causes reaction in his body. Thinking about frightening things can make you sweat. Thinking about a tense situation can cause you to tense your muscles so much that your whole body becomes sore. In this case, your mind caused a chemical reaction, the generation of acid in your tight muscles. Your mind can also relax your body just by thinking about it. Many people are using this approach to control their pulse or blood pressure without drugs. In Qi training, concentration is the key to success. By concentrating attention on the abdomen and doing certain exercises, Qi is generated and circulated throughout the body. This leads to the development of extra energy and its more efficient use, allowing the martial artist to strike with tremendous power and to resist the penetration of the opponent's power into his body. The amount of Qi that can be generated is determined largely by the person's ability to concentrate. There are several common ways to raise Qi to a higher energy state. The first way is called Wei Dan. In this method, Qi is stimulated at a particular location in the body by continued muscular exertion combined with concentration. For example, if a person holds his arms extended in one position for several minutes, the shoulders become very warm from Qi accumulation. When the tension is relaxed, this higher energy will flow to places with a lower state. Wei Dan exercises have been used in China for centuries. Wei Dan was later coordinated with martial techniques by the Shaolin monks. The next way of increasing Qi circulation is called Nidan. In this method, Qi is accumulated in a spot an inch and a half below the navel. When Qi has accumulated sufficiently, the practitioner uses his mind to guide the Qi to circulate in the two major vessels. This is called the small circulation. After mastering the small circulation, the practitioner then learns the grand circulation, in which the mind guides the Qi flow through all of the 12 channels. This method has been practiced by Tai Chi devotees since the 13th century. The third common way is acupuncture. In acupuncture, the needle pierces the skin and musculature and stimulates the channel directly. When the channel is stimulated, Qi is built up and then circulated. The fourth way, which is the one that has been used in Western medicine, is massage, which stimulates the muscles, building up local Qi, which circulates more freely because the muscles relax. The last common way is frictional rubbing of a particular area, hard enough to generate heat and stimulate the skin. There are a few other ways to build up local Qi, including slapping the skin and acupressure, which is classified somewhere between massage and acupuncture. Of the 5 methods mentioned, Wei Dan and Nidan are the only 2 that can be applied for martial purposes. The others are for improving health. There are 2 categories of Qi training: martial arts and pure Qigong, which is for health, longevity, and spiritual attainment. Within each category, there are many styles. The most popular of the pure Qigong methods are Yijin Qing, which is attributed to Dao Mo, and Ba Dun Jin, or 8 pieces of brocade. The most popular martial styles are Tai Chi and Xing Yi. Tai Chi means grand ultimate and refers to the yin-yang concept. Wan means fist, boxing, or style. This boxing style is noted for its slow, relaxed movements. The forms are martial movements, but are performed very slowly, so they appear more like dance. The Xing Yi consists of a set of fast punching movements. There are 5 basic punches based on the 5 basic motions: expand, contract, rise, fall, and cross. They are performed with the muscles relaxed, however, and the practitioner usually steps in a straight line while punching. In Chinese, Xing means shape, and Yi means mind, so that the Xing Yi means using the mind to determine the form. Martial Fei is usually popularly credited with creating Xing Yi, although there is no documentation to support it. It was not until the end of the Ming Dynasty that the documentary history of Xing Yi began. A martial artist of the Shaanxi province claimed to have obtained a book, Wan Qing, or Fist Fighting Classic, written by Martial Fei when he visited a hermit along a mountainside. The book described martial techniques imitating the tiger, the dragon, the horse, the camel, the eagle, the bear, the snake, and the hawk. After studying this book, Ji used his knowledge to develop the art and make a more complete style. In the 300 or so years since then, other styles of Xing Yi have been developed and practiced. Xing Yi masters were frequently employed as caravan guards beginning in the 19th century. Today, there are 10 recognized styles popularly practiced. Xing Yi is practiced at a fast speed, although with the muscles relaxed, and power is developed and concentrated in the Dan Tian. This is different from Tai Chi, in which slow motion is practiced. To fully understand Qi development within the context of the martial arts, keep in mind 6 principles and 6 methods. The 6 principles are: the body combines and coordinates with the mind. The mind combines and coordinates with the idea. The idea combines and coordinates with the Qi. The Qi combines and coordinates with the spirit. The spirit combines and coordinates with the movements. The movements combine and coordinate with the universe. The 6 methods are: Qi, controlling breathing through concentration. Ku, or bone, mustering force within the bones. Xing, shape, imitating the various forms and postures. Tu, or following, fluidly combining with the opponent's moves. Ti, or lift, feeling that one is suspended from the top, or a feeling of weightlessness. Wan, or return, the total balancing of motion and posture. Le, or reserve, maintaining peace and calmness of mind. And Fu, or conceal, refraining from exposing one's intentions prematurely. To Western man, The universe often appears arbitrary. Everything is in constant flux, yet it is not a chaotic flux. It is change that is subject to laws. It therefore has meaning. Such laws include the law of cause and effect, the law that all things and events are interrelated, and the law of recurrent change. One law that results is the law of harmony, that the universe is held together by the tension between positive and negative forces, between yin and yang. Without their constant interplay, the universe would collapse. Such interplay is at work in the earth and in man, in the whole man and in his parts. The search for harmony in conduct and the environment has consequently been a constant preoccupation of the Chinese. Only thus can a man aid the process of resolving the tension and ensure the continuance of his universe. This yin and yang law runs parallel to the other great law, the law observed in nature that change is cyclical, that all manifestations undergo a regular cycle of birth, growth, decay, and death, whether they be bacteria, men and women, plants, mountains, stars, or galaxies. To illustrate this principle, Chinese Taoists devised the theory of the 5 elements. Its application enables Chinese to moderate the process of change in themselves and their environment. Both yin and yang and the theory of the 5 elements are aspects of qi, the ultimate material essence of the cosmos. Yin and yang are the cement of the manifest world, for it is they that maintain in the being. From the centrifugal force of the speed of the moon in space being balanced by the force of its Mother Earth's gravity, through all humans and human organizations, to the maintenance of the structure of an atom by balance and harmony. In all of these are seen the play of yin and yang. Two of the principles to do with yin and yang laid down by the Emperor of China 2,000 years before Christ are, firstly, that all beings and things in the universe are aggregates of qi and are composed of varying proportions of yin and yang, and secondly, that all beings and things are in a state of dynamic change, tension, and transformation, which is unceasing. Man's place is to aid the process of harmony. Indeed, it is to his advantage to do so. Nothing can exist without its opposite. This is a fundamental truth. Good needs evil if good is to be known as good. Thus, nothing in the cosmos can exist without constant interplay of the two. Qi, manifesting in the tension between yin and yang, is the subtle origin of all manifest beings and things. All manifest beings, then, are subject to yin and yang. Any destruction of the harmonious tension between the two will be destructive to beings, objects, systems, even empires, whether in the short or long run. Not only do men and women need to subject themselves to the law, they need to seek to exemplify and increase the possibility of harmony between opposites, for all opposites partake of the nature of yin and yang. This is Chinese wisdom, the lifestyle of the Taoist sage, and the Confucian superior man. Because of his training, an expert martial artist reacts not in a personal way, with animosity or ambition, but almost like the operation of a natural law. Based on the principle that the human body is a miniature universe, Taoist movements aim to guide an individual's qi in a way which exactly follows cosmic law. There is a story told by Yuan Zhu of an old man who falls into a raging river and comes out downstream quite unharmed. When asked how, he replies, "Plunging in with the whirl, I came out with the swirl. I accommodate myself to the water, not the water to me, and so I am able to deal with it." This exemplifies the use of qi through the most subtle principles of Taoism: to act without force, to move in accordance with the flow of nature's course. Perhaps it is best understood from watching the dynamics of water. Since we are ourselves 80% water, as the Tao Te Ching has said in its chapters 43 and 78, the most gentle thing in the world overrides the most hard. Nothing in the world is weaker than water, but it has no better in overcoming the hard. The flow of qi is the basis of the flowing movements of Tai Chi Chuan and the Taoist dance of the warrior. In fact, all martial arts utilize this principle. External forms of martial arts are primarily concerned with the bodily skills used in fighting and self-defense. American Kenpo, for example, would be a purely external martial art. Internal systems that we have discussed, like Tai Chi Chuan and even Aikido, work primarily at self-understanding and transcendence. Their deepest purpose is not to impose will or cause damage, but to serve as a vehicle of spiritual development. It is my hope that the student following Dragon Kenpo will use his practice of techniques not only to develop speed and skill, but as moving meditation used in conjunction with this audio series to develop the person as well as the fighting machine. To do this, the practitioner of Dragon Kenpo would keep his mind on the flow of qi while practicing his techniques, something he can only do through the mind's imagination, through the meditation in motion, which is actually the basis of martial arts of all kinds. Now, what do I mean by doing it through imagination? Everything we do, from buying a can of beans to driving a car, is first done in the mind as a sort of intention picture in action. We all create our lives by a process of constantly imagining or visualizing our way through every day. Everything is done twice. First you imagine it, then you do it. There isn't anything strange about visualization. You're already using it all the time, every minute in fact. It's your natural power of imagination, the basic creative energy of the universe, which you use constantly, whether or not you stop to think about it. The true martial artist is aware of it. The martial arts start with the concentrated mind, which the body thus naturally follows. In the movement of the body, there is meditation. Unlike sitting meditation, it is meditation in movement. The mental stillness, which is thus achieved in movement, is regarded by Taoists in particular as a higher level than the stillness reached in bodily stillness because it engages the whole psychophysical organism. This is added advantage in that it becomes a clear and practical bridge from meditation under the special circumstance of the training hall to meditation under every circumstance of life. A martial artist is able to respond through such practice to each life situation as it comes, unhindered by memories or preconceptions. The aim is for the mind to move the qi calmly and naturally, directing it deeply inward so that it can be gathered into the bones and marrow. The qi will then move the entire being smoothly and continuously, and the form can easily follow the mind. The spirit is at ease, the body tranquil. At every moment, the martial artist is totally conscious. But of what is he totally conscious? As one modern master put it, I was able to see what people were going to do before they did it. So in martial arts, when someone was going to hit me, I would just finish the situation before it got started, and that was it. This is referred to as the doctrine of Mushin, the doctrine of no mind. It indicates that the consciousness is detached yet alert. The mind is not in a particularly analytical mode, but in a heightened mode of intuition, a heightened awareness. The mind has been described as being in a state of flowing. If the flow is interrupted, it is injurious. In the case of a fighter, it would mean defeat, even death. The state of flow referred to is the flow of the qi. The martial artist latches onto this flow and becomes an active part of the universal flux, totally aware of the situation. He experiences oneness with his opponent. As you, I'm sure, understand, the term qi is a multifaceted concept. It's very general in its connotations because it's so widespread with so many different definitions for so many different uses in the place of its origin, China. But qi is often referred to as breath, breath of life, breath of energy, vitality, and spirit. In the martial arts, the word for breathing, qi, means not only that the air that is inhaled and exhaled is qi, but also that the spirit of the place is qi, the intrinsic energy which surrounds the martial artist is qi. It is this relation between physical breathing and spiritual breathing that the martial artist utilizes. Correct use of breathing is valued as much as sheer physical power. For without it, the martial artist who utilizes qi cannot achieve his goals. The control of the physical breath is important, therefore, to the control of the spiritual breath. Visualizing the passage of the breath helps martial artists to control the circulation of qi in their bodies, and indeed, in directing it towards their opponents. The body follows the mind, but only when the mind is concentrated. The aim is for the mind to move the qi calmly and naturally, directing it deeply inward, for it to be made increasingly subtle and gathered into the bones and marrow. In this way, the qi will be available to move the entire being smoothly and continuously, the form easily following the mind. To accomplish this, the spine should be erect. The mind and qi must move flexibly in order to achieve smoothness and roundness of movement. The abdomen is slightly relaxed. The qi is gathered into the bones. The spirit is at ease. The body is quiet. At every moment, the qi practitioner must be totally conscious. To concentrate the energy, the center of gravity must be lowered. Looseness and quietude must be maintained, and the energy focused. The aim of all practice sessions, indeed of everyday life itself, is to use the mind to focus the energy of qi through the use of the breath. There is a training exercise called sticking hands. You may have seen Kung Fu practitioners practice it. The Kung Fu students, by touching hands and following each other's movements, learn to interpret the silent messages telegraphed by their opponents. The way in which a hand retreats can signal a shift of body weight or a change in posture. And in this way, a student becomes aware of an oncoming attack and can react appropriately. But this is also a Qi exercise, still and quiet, with the breath sinking to the lower dantian and remaining there. A martial artist learns to listen to the Qi as it flows in the total situation existing between himself and his opponent. As my first Kenpo teacher taught me, when someone hits you, he is extending his Qi towards you, and it starts to flow when he thinks he will hit you, even before his body moves. His action has already been seen by his mind. By paying attention to your Qi, your striking force is strong. If you pay attention only to your breathing, however, your blood circulation will be impeded and your striking force will be weakened. You must visualize the Qi. While utilizing Qi, even though great energy may be present, there is no straining, no effort. The martial artist should be in tune with natural law and should exhibit its characteristics. In appearance, the martial artist should be like a hawk catching a rabbit. Internally, his spirit should be like a cat watching a mouse. In resting, he should be as still as a mountain, in movement like a river. He should store his energy as an archer stores it in a bow, or a hawk in its wings, or a cat in its paw, concentrated and still. In that way, he will always have more than he needs, and thus be in a position of advantage. When appropriate, and the flow of Qi will indicate that moment, he should let his energy go as if releasing an arrow from the energy store of a bow. His movements should easily follow each other, as they are trained to do in the practice of his techniques. As they do in a cat stalking its prey. In Dragon Kenpo, we seek to control the Qi. We use the power of visualization to do this. Throughout, the mind is aware of, is visualizing the movement of the Qi as it circulates and emerges in the actions of the practitioner. The mind plays its part in the attainment of calmness and tranquility, without which the stored Qi cannot flow freely. The Qi sinks into and abides in the area just below the navel, and it is circulated throughout the body. The mind mobilizes the Qi, and the Qi mobilizes the body. Breath and mind are able to respond to external circumstances naturally and at the highest level. Dragon Kenpo brings the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual energies into alignment through practice, through mind, through breath, and through visualization. Enjoy your practices, and I'll join you again on the next tape.